Well, okay. Okay. Well, we're going to get this started here, I think. And so I hope wherever you're at, if you're watching this, I hope this video finds you well and happy and all of those things. And I'm hoping, so I don't know where you're at, but actually at the moment, we are in the midst of, so I guess we're pretty much in the path of the remnants of the storm that hit Louisiana and the South in the United States. So first of all, again, I just hope that everyone who is affected by this weather is safe first and foremost, and that they retain their hope, they retain their sense of being able to, turn their life back the way it was, just because it obviously is causing so much destruction. So we certainly want to send out prayers of healing and peace and resilience and love to everyone affected by this horrible thing that's happened. Again, this frightening thing. So of course, up here where I live in the Northeast, by the time it's here, it's just pretty much really crazy, really heavy rain right now. Like visibility is like zilch. I can't see anything right outside this window. It is just pure crazy rain. So I'm hoping that this video finds you well. So welcome. And if you've watched the previous videos that we went through, we went through each of the 7 laws, the 7 Hermetic laws in order. So I just wanted to bring that up. And as well, so basically going through all of the laws, I mean, it definitely was very interesting. Wow, you can hear, it's my weather alert going off. There's all sorts of tornado and flash flood things going off right now. So one thing we had previously went through with all the different laws and everything like that. And so we learned a lot about what each law was: law of mentalism, law of correspondence, and on and on and on. And of course, we don't want to just stop there as like defining what it is. I wanted to actually show that we can use this as an excellent way to create a journaling exercise, to actually journal through our issues with these laws. So one way to do so is we can actually, so if you have a journal, you're going to grab a journal. So no matter what you want to change in your life, you can actually use these laws in order to work through ways to make things different and to actually change things in your life. So if we begin with the first law. So if you do have a journal, you're simply going to, take out a fresh piece of paper here, and I'm going to show you how you can actually turn each of these laws into a journaling exercise and use that as a way to get yourself to work through different issues, regardless of if it's you're working on your health, you're working on wealth or lifestyle or career, or you're working on love and relationships. You can actually use these laws to move forward. And even if you're not per se a huge devotee of Hermeticism and don't follow the Kabbalion like to a T, that's okay. You actually can use these as a different way to change your thinking and to kind of come up with different ways to really work things out and whatnot. So, okay. So if we have the first one, which is the law of mentalism, okay? So what did that say? So the law of mentalism, of course, says that all is mind, that the state of the universe is mental. So one thing that we can actually ask is, well, if all is mind and the state of the universe is mental, what type of thoughts do I need to start thinking to create what I desire? So if we, for example, we're working on our health, what type of thoughts? You would literally write that down. Number one, what type of thoughts do I need to start thinking to create what I desire? And so you would run this through. Okay, it could be, if we're working on our health, okay, you would write down what type of thoughts. You always want to have thoughts that are, number one, if you're working on your health, decreasing your level of stress and anxiety, decreasing your levels of fear, and also that are going to move you into the higher state of health that you're looking to move. You want thoughts of healing. You want thoughts that are centered on healing and getting the body, getting the results, getting the skin, the organs, the movement, the painlessness and the comfort and the freedom in your body that you desire. These are the thoughts that you need to have. Thoughts that are optimistic, that are positive, that move you forward. Okay, so let me see something here. I'm not going to try. Yeah. All right. So if you're working on love, what type of thoughts do you need to start thinking to create a love life or relationship you desire? Is thinking that all the good ones are taken, that you're never going to ever find happiness? Is that sort of thought going to be moving you towards what you want? No, right? Is, thinking that you are broken in some way and that you're never going to be able to find love. No one loves you. No one is attracted to you. Is that going to help you move forward to what you want? No. So it's always important to ask yourself, what type of thoughts do I need to think in order to create what I desire? Because everything that we in our modern world just tells us, even from the mundane and the very practical to the spiritual, what we think is what we move towards. We all have to work on this. I have to work on this. All of us have to work on this constantly and be aware of our thinking. Okay. Number two, a second journaling question. So this is going to be on the law of correspondence. The law of correspondence says that there are different planes, that even though everything is one, there are different planes. We have the mental plane, we have the physical plane, and we have the spiritual plane. And that it also says we can affect, because everything is one, you can affect something by changing something on another plane. So if I can affect one plane by making changes on another, how can I change my, for example, mental plane to create health? So if we're focusing again on health, how can I change my mental plane to create health? How can I change my physical plane to create health? So literally asking yourself, okay, so writing down this question in your journal and asking, okay, well, how can I affect my physical plane to create the changes that I desire? Okay, so literally, what can I physically do to bring myself closer to getting perfect health, to getting the type of health that I want? What can I change mentally? And this actually ties in, because these all tie together, ties in the first one to change things, to change my health. What mentally can I change? Okay, so you can also do this with, for example, love. If I can affect one plane by making changes on another, how can I change my mental plane to create more love? How can I change my physical plane to create more love? So if you're wanting to bring in love or change a relationship, what can you do physically to do that? Okay, like literally, what can you change in your surroundings? What can you change with the way you look, your body, what you do? And also, again, what can you change mentally with what's going on in your head in order to bring about the love that you need? Okay, so number three, we're on to the law of vibration. So the law of vibration says, again, that nothing rests, everything vibrates, and that everything vibrates at a different scale. And the higher it vibrates, the closer it is to really the perfection. So, so you're going to ask yourself, okay, what can I do to raise my hope when it comes to getting what I want? At the end of the day, what we feel is truly what gets us closer to what we want, because feelings turn into thoughts, thoughts turn into actions. So what you want to do is you want to ask yourself how, and asking yourself how you can raise your vibration. How can you feel good about moving towards what you want? This is so important, of course, with health. It's a very naked, like very obvious connection, right? Feeling good and actually feeling good with our body and our health is totally related. But it is with the other things too, as well. And with just with wealth or money and with love, those sort of things. So basically what you want to always feel is you want to feel a sense of hope towards what you want, a sense of being able to move, that you are feeling good about where you're heading. So one way to do this is to run your thinking and run your actions through a sort of check. And you should always ask yourself, okay, well, is this thought, is this feeling I'm feeling, is it of love or is it of fear? And if you've never read A Course in Miracles, which is another, I don't have the copy with me right now, which is another fantastic spiritual text. To me, amazing. Just like even more important, I think, than the Kabbalion. But it has some wonderful things to say about just our feelings and our thoughts. And it's all about love and the power of love. And one of the main things it mentions is there is only love or fear, love or fear. And the only thing that is real is love. Everything else is illusion. So it is really important to ask yourself the thoughts you're having, the feelings that you're having, the actions you're taking, are they out of fear or are they out of love? And one way to gauge it is how it makes you feel. Does it make you feel really terrible and shrunken and constricted and scared? Then those are thoughts of fear. So those are low vibration. So love is, of course, extremely high vibration at the top. So really what you want to do is pursue thoughts, feelings, and actions that are all about love. So what do we mean by that? What do we mean by love? Pretty much anything that is loving yourself, anything that is loving the world, anything that is loving even the obstacles that you perceive to be in your way, anything that is sending out thoughts and messages of love, of hope, of embracing, okay, and of positivity. So you always want to get higher towards that. And when it comes to the feeling of basically discouragement, one of my favorite mantras that I like to use is the following. It is saying to myself, whenever things are feeling low and I'm feeling scared and I'm feeling discouraged and I'm feeling as though I'll never get to the level of wealth, get to the love that I want, that I'll never have the job I want, that I'll never get to where I want to be. Apologies. That mantra is, I am in exactly the right place that I am supposed to be right now. My journey to the top of the mountain takes me through a dark valley. I let go of the worry. I let go of the second guessing, and I move forward. I don't trust the illusions, and I let them go. I'm getting closer every minute. So I know that's kind of a long mantra, but I'll say it again. I am in exactly the right place that I'm supposed to be right now. My journey to the top of the mountain takes me through a dark valley. I let go of the worry. I let go of the second guessing, and I move forward. I don't trust the illusions, and I let them go. I'm getting closer every minute. So the illusions are referring to is, of course, anything that's not of love. The feelings of fear. Okay, because remember we mentioned, of course, in Miracles, it mentioned that there's only love and fear. And anything that is not love is illusion. So whenever you are feeling discouraged, what is that feeling? It's a fearful feeling. Okay, because why? Is it of love? No, it's of fear. Okay, so it's really important just to ask yourself that. You know, what are you feeling? Are you feeling doubt that you ever get where you're at? Is it of love or is it of fear? what is it? Of fear, right? Okay, so that is a low vibration and we have to move higher. Okay, so number 4 is the law of polarity. So our journaling exercise with the law of polarity is going to be basically telling you that you already have the same thing that you want to have. Okay, the law of polarity, of course, says that everything is on a degree of polarity. Everything is the same, but is basically on a different degree, and that's what makes the difference. So what you have to know is when you desire something, be it love, be it wealth, be it, God, the weather's going crazy outside. I apologize. This is going to be an ongoing thing. Whether it's be love, wealth, health, you already have it. You already have it, but what you desire is a different degree of what you have. And to someone, you have or are closer to what they want. Okay, so you have to see that everything that you want, it's all subjective, and the difference is in degree. So let's say you want to have more money, you want to have more wealth. It's basically you're already on the thermostat of money or wealth. So you just have to be able to move closer to that, to turn up the thermostat, to bring up in increments more of what you want. So, and also similarly, if what you desire is love or health, so you are already having that, okay? But what you want is a different degree of what you want. So basically, what you have to do is adjust that thermostat and turn it up, okay? So the journaling question basically is to ask, how can I turn up, that the thermostat on what I want? How can I slide myself closer to what I want? So how can I, in increments, bring into my life more of what I want? So if you are wanting a relationship or wanting, love in your life, how can you bring more of that into your life? So even though you may not have someone with you currently that you can call your boyfriend or girlfriend or someone that you're in a long-term relationship, what are the feelings that are associated with that, being in a loving long-term relationship? And how can you bring more of that into your life, even without, quote unquote, that actual end result yet manifesting physically? But how can you kind of bring yourself more closer and up to that? Okay, so what can you do to bring more of those feelings into your life? And often the answer is to actually give out those feelings, because of the reciprocal nature of everything and of people, especially. Giving out more love and spending more company with people and that sort of a thing certainly can help you bring in more of that feeling that you want to experience. Okay, with wealth, what can you do now to actually slide up that feeling of wealth and bring more of that feeling, of that energy into your life? Okay, you don't have to break the bank. You can certainly start to experience little breaks, little vacations, start to just bring, and sliding that little scale up. You can start to, in your own way, where affordably bring in smaller increments of wealth into your life, so that will bring in more of the energy of that. Okay. So number 5 in our journaling would be the law of rhythm. Okay, so we mentioned the law of rhythm says that life ebbs and flows, everything has seasons, everything has ups and downs, and that nothing really stays put. So if you're journaling and you're working on an issue and you come to the law of rhythm and you ask, okay, how can I help the law of rhythm? How can I use the law of rhythm to really work through this issue? Honestly, this one right here is a little halfway point before we continue to the last 2 laws, because what it says is you are exactly where you need to be right now. So when you get to your journaling exercise in the law of rhythm, you want to just breathe. And so if you're working on bring in love in your life. You're working on bringing in more money. You've done some work so far with the other laws, with the other journaling exercises. But when you get to the law of rhythm, it's time to just breathe for a second and just say, you know what? You're exactly where you're supposed to be right now. Think your life is going to have ebbs and flows. It's going to have ups and downs. There's going to be points in your life where you may feel like you're not on top of your game. It's temporary, and it's going to happen, and it's going to happen again, probably in the future. It happens to all of us. It happens to everyone. It happens to the people that you probably are envious of and looking at and wishing you had the life like they did. I guarantee you, they got their seasons too. They have their ups and downs. They compare themselves. You can have all the money in the world, but I promise you, Jeff Bezos, he compares himself to other people if you're working on money. If you're looking at someone on Instagram or on Facebook who looks so happy all the time because they're in a relationship with this amazing boo of theirs. And I promise you, they have ups and downs, and they probably compare themselves to other people. They cry sometimes. They don't want to be where they're at in life sometimes. It happens to all of us. So the point here when you get to law of rhythm is to just breathe and just say, you're in exactly the right place that you were and that you're supposed to be. And even returning to that mantra that we said, just again, you may have to write it again. I am in exactly the right place that I'm supposed to be right now. My journey to the top of the mountain takes me through a dark valley. I let go of the worry. I let go of the second guessing, and I move forward. I don't trust the illusions, and I let them go. I'm getting closer every minute. So you just repeat that, which was that previous one that we worked on, and we move forward. Okay, and just breathe. Everything's going to turn the page. We're going to move out of this, and everything's going to get better. So number 6 was the law of cause and effect. So this is the spiritual law that we discovered says everything has a cause and an effect. Okay. So the journaling exercise that you do, whatever issue you're working on for number 6, is you're going to say, okay, well, if my current situation is an effect, what do I think and feel could be causing it? Okay. And you can even draw the 3 planes that we mentioned in the Law of Correspondence: physical, mental, and spiritual. Okay. And you can just list that. Okay. If my current situation is an effect, what do I think and feel could be causing it? What is a physical cause that could be causing my current effect? So if my effect is I don't have the love relationship that I want to have. Okay, physically, what could be behind that? All right. So it could be literally just go crazy here and list out whatever you think could be it. Anything from I'm not attractive enough to, well, there's no one around me that likes me, or no one is into me, or I don't have fancy enough clothes, whatever it is. You just kind of can dump it on the page and just let it out. So you'll deal with what you put on the paper later, but the idea is just to write it out. Mentally, same thing. Okay, what is a mental cause for where I'm at right now with my love life? What do you think? What are some of the thoughts that could be responsible for where you're at right now? Okay, are you thinking the sort of thoughts that lead to the result of having a love relationship? Spiritually, okay, what could be causing? What could be my spirit? What could be the type of energy levels that are causing me to be here? Okay, now of course there will be things that are outside of your control. Absolutely. Okay, you obviously with relationships, you can't control people's reaction to you, can't control if they're attracted to you or not, that sort of a thing. But obviously, there's always going to be things under our control. And you can't say there's nothing under your control. That is not an allowable answer. There's plenty of other minds and other things going on. But going back to the first laws, Law of Mentalism says the universe is mental. Law of Mentalism says your mind is extremely powerful. Going back to Law of Correspondence, it says what you seek without you is found within. All of these are power laws. So they all imply that you do have the ability to create what you want to create. So it's really important that even though certain things are out of control, you absolutely have power to change. Okay, so I want you to kind of reverse engineer and ask yourself, okay, well, what could be a contributing factor to where I'm at? And what possibly can be a cause for a different effect? So if if my effect is not having the life that I want, if I do want to create an effect of having the life that I want, what could be a cause of that? And what physical actions could I take? What mental thoughts could I take? What energetic work do I need to work on myself in order to create that different sort of vibe and attract people? Okay. And it can be and a lot of this will be mundane, common sense things, like physically, have I given up? You know what I mean? Have I stopped going out physically to places? And now I just started moping now just about not having anyone in my life because I've been frustrated. Okay. Have I given up putting myself together at all? And therefore just not presenting my best face? Because let's be honest, we don't have to be supermodels running around here. But when we're talking about romance and sexual attraction, sometimes you have to make a little bit of an effort. So it's really important. And when you're upset, especially if you're very upset and you've been in a rut for a while, sometimes that's one of the things to go. And sometimes we have to work on ourselves. But obviously, that's just one. Sorry, more storm. That's just one aspect of that. So obviously, we have mental and spiritual, which is probably going to be a lot bigger than the physical. And then finally, the law of gender. We have the last one. So when we get to this as a journal exercise, the law of gender, of course, says that everything has gender. Okay, and we kind of talked about this, how everything has traditional masculine, traditional feminine energies. And nowadays, obviously, with this redefining what gender means to us, and really revisiting some very, very old things, a lot of times those terms have been replaced with different terminology. I tend to stick to masculine and feminine. A lot of people tend to say yin and yang, or aggressive and passive, or penetrating, receptive, however you want to see it. But basically, the law of gender says that everything has a sort of energy to it. So I want you to ask, in order to writing it out. Okay, law of gender, exercise number 7. In order to create the change that I desire, 2 things. What masculine actions can I take to change this? And what feminine actions can I take to change this? So in other words, what outward energy actions do I need to take to change this in my life? And what feminine or inward, internal, introspective feeling things can I do to change it? So one is, what can you put out into the world? What can you physically do? What can you touch, move, change? All right. React with, get going in a chain reaction to create the change, but then also sitting still and what can I change about myself? What can I do outside of myself? What can I change within myself to bring about a change? So if you are working on your health, okay, so obviously if you are wanting to change and heal, you're obviously going to do, and another masculine aspect of masculine actions could be traditional. So visiting, a traditional doctor. Okay, feminine action could be also visiting a more holistic or an energetic sort of healer as well. Okay, masculine action for changing your health, actually making the changes to the way you eat, the way you move, changing your environment and whatnot. Feminine actions could be eliminating the different stresses in your life, working on yourself and working on belief systems that you can or cannot change your body, and just learning to embrace meditation and healing yourself and that sort of a thing. Okay, so these are just some practical ways to use everything that we used way back. Also, the past 7 weeks, it was really a lot of fun to discover what they were, but these are practical ways to actually use these. And I think they would be very helpful for me as far as issues that come up, ways to use them to actually problem solve and actually to journal out different issues. Okay, so we have the law of mentalism, asking what type of thoughts I need to start thinking to create what I desire. The law of correspondence, we're going to ask, what can I change physically? What can I change mentally? What can I change spiritually to move me towards what I desire? The law of vibration exercise says whatever thoughts, feelings, or actions I am having and taking, are they of love or are they of fear? Okay, there's only one or the other. I'm either thinking, feeling, and acting a loving thought, or I'm thinking, feeling, and acting a fearful thought. Loving thought is going to get you closer to what you want. Fearful thought is going to most likely just cause more upset. Our fourth journaling activity was on the law of polarity. So just reminding yourself you are in exactly the right place that you're supposed to be right now. And the difference is in degree. Okay, so basically, how can I turn up and add a little bit more of what I want into my life so that I can get closer to the degree that I want? Exercise number 5 is a law of rhythm. And that is just letting you know you are exactly where you're supposed to be. Everything's going to ebb and flow, and that soon you're going to turn the corner into a different spot. Exercise number 6 is the law of cause and effect. And it asks, if my current situation is an effect, what do I think and feel is causing it? And what physically, what mentally, and what spiritually. Okay. Number 7, finally, is a law of gender. Okay. So what masculine actions can I take to change things? What feminine actions can I take to change things? All right. So I hope you found that helpful. And I hope you are safe and well and dry where you're at. And be safe, remain safe, and stay well. And this video has gone really long, so I'm going to hop off of here. But definitely make sure, if you find these helpful, please make sure you are signed up to our newsletter. You can find it at www.newworldcoaching.org/sign-up. Check out the book, Life Change Now, which is available on Amazon in both print and Kindle format, and also soon coming audiobook format as well, hopefully in a couple weeks or so. And definitely check out the rest of the videos that are here, and make sure you're signed up for giveaways and content and whatnot. We actually just did a giveaway, and we had a winner, and she should be getting her things pretty soon, if not already. And we're going to have another one most likely in the future. So definitely make sure you're signed up for that and get your free gift as well. Okay. So again, my name is Keisha De La Claudette, and I am an emotional healing expert, author, certified hypnotic consultant. Okay, all the things. So we'll see you next time, and be safe and be well and take care. All right, bye.